From Ben Simmons, rumored to be a part of the Houston Rockets next season, to Damian Lillard potentially on his way to Orlando, this is your one stop for the latest trade rumors from the NBA. To kick things off, let me present you a trade rumor involving Ben Simmons and the Rockets. Now, don't try to skip ahead in this video, Rocket fans. This could be a good thing for your franchise. I know the current version of Simmons doesn't really get anyone out of their seats, but this is a trade that makes sense for all parties involved. For the Rockets in particular, using the money to take on a bad contract with draft incentives attached is a great idea. Simmons fits the roster. He'll be a pass-first guard comfortable in defending multiple positions and allowing the likes of Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr., and Jabari Smith Jr. to get their shots up. If the fans are able to look beyond the roasting session Houston will inevitably have to sit through as soon as they make this trade official, there's a lot to gain. It's a deal with a simple salary dump, and with the Rockets having more cap space than any other franchise in the league, they can afford to take on a deal of this sort. More importantly, they did something similar with John Wall not too long ago, so they can pull it off. Plus, with Ime Udoka in charge, who knows how great the upside to a potential deal of this sort could be. Imagine if he actually gets Simmons back on track. But there's the possibility of a much bigger star landing in Houston, because the Rockets are exploring a move for a J from Boston. Okay, I gave away too much. Of course, I'm talking about Jaylen Brown, not Jason Tatum. And given how much of a fan he is of Udoka, this could actually happen, folks. Brown's future in Boston is very uncertain, but if the Rockets want to get him to Houston, they'll have to move quickly. Apparently, the rumor suggests the Rockets are letting go of Jalen Green, the number 2 pick of the 2021 draft, and there's ample risk involved in pulling off a deal of that sort. You're basically letting go of someone with a very high ceiling for a now superstar. To be fair, Green hasn't enjoyed the kind of breakout some other stars have, so it might also be a case of selling low, if anything else. Although, if the upside of Brown getting freed from his shackles in Boston is to be believed, then this is a trade that'd immediately transform the Rockets. Speaking of trades that transform franchises, allow me to present the Lakers and their pursuit of a point guard. Unfortunately, the point guard in question is not Kyrie Irving. It's about time the Lakers fans and LeBron himself let go of that pipe dream. It was never feasible. And if we're being honest, he's not quite worth the hassle either. But he's not the only talented guard out there who could transform this Lakers side. A much more realistic option is in Toronto, waiting for the Lakers to make a move. You see, the Los Angeles-based franchise was planning on a sign-and-trade agreement for D'Angelo Russell. It just didn't work out. Everyone wanted it to, but it wasn't meant to be. Rob Pelinka, the general manager of the Lakers, believes he can convince the Raptors to take Russell while giving up Fred VanVleet. It'd be better than losing VanVleet for nothing, considering he could opt out of his contract. VanVleet is also a Clutch client, and that should make the deal a lot easier to figure out for the Lakers. Plus, if the Raptors aren't sold on D'Lo, there's also the possibility of Toronto taking on the Malik Beasley and Mo Bamba contracts. Either way, if the Lakers are in the market for a point guard, then it makes a lot of sense to move quickly for VanVleet. If you were to believe everything you heard on the grapevine, though, there's a possibility that VanVleet won't be the only departure from Toronto, as the Raptors are exploring the possibility of letting Pascal Siakam leave too. Portland seems like the likeliest of landing spots for Siakam, but Mikal Bridges and Jaylen Brown have also made it into the trade rumors. Of course, as you can probably expect, the Trailblazers' main problem to solve in the summer is Damian Lillard, and I'll get to him in a bit. But if they want Dame to stay, then trading their number 3 pick in the 2023 NBA draft is a genius move, especially if it brings them one of those 3 rumored players. They've already got Anthony Simons and Shaedon Sharpe looking solid. Convince Lillard to stay, and add someone like Siakam or Bridges to your roster, you're golden. The Raptors may ask for someone in return as well, and there's a bit of quality on that roster. Maybe Matisse Thybulle could be a part of that trade? Who knows? Either way, the Raptors won't say no to this one, considering their plans to blow it all up in the summer. Yet, another big name potentially leaving Toronto is the young Brit, OG Anunoby. He's actually the likeliest player to leave the Raptors after VanVleet, and almost every single team in the NBA wants to consider a move for OG. The Rockets have sounded him out. The Lakers could explore the possibility too, but I like the trade idea that sends him to New York. Both the Nets and the Knicks would fancy a deal for him and have the first rounder that the Raptors are looking for. From a player's perspective, a move to the Nets might be the ideal one, as it gives him a chance to be a big name on that roster. The Knicks, on the other hand, offer him the best chance of winning, and I'd really like to see how they line up should they convince the Raptors to part with Anunoby. He'd be a sublime fit in either of those two teams. But you're lying if you don't want to see how he fits in alongside Mikal Bridges. If we move to the West, though, the Warriors have made it abundantly clear that they want to shake things up to contend next season. Not to mention Bob Myers has left, and a new era begins. Who knows what to expect from the Warriors this time around? As far as the trade rumors go, Golden State hasn't overlooked the possibility of trading both Jonathan Kuminga and Jordan Poole. This is an interesting development and suggests the Warriors will try to bring in another superstar to ensure that they contend this season. With Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Andrew Wiggins as nailed-on starters, and Draymond Green set to receive a new contract, too, again, according to the rumors, then who could be the final piece to the puzzle helping them win a 5th championship with this core? Someone like Siakam has been rumored to come in for Jordan Poole. You can't tell me it doesn't make sense, but Colin Cowherd, not the best of sources I know, has been talking about how a move for LeBron James might not be entirely out of question. Personally, I don't see it happening, but the Lakers wouldn't say no to a trade deal involving Poole, Kuminga, and Draymond Green for LeBron James. Apparently, the Warriors do have the best odds to land LeBron, and he wants that 5th ring, doesn't he? I'm sure he won't mind sharing it with Steph Curry. But if the Warriors still want to invest in the two-timeline plan, then they could deal Poole and Kuminga to the Rockets and receive Kevin Porter Jr., Jae'Sean Tate, KJ Martin, and a whole host of picks in return. Decent. But for the final trade of the day, we've got Dame Time moving to Orlando. I don't care if you're a Portland fan. At this point, if you don't want Lillard to leave the Trailblazers, you're a mortal enemy to the poor bloke. As much talent as he has, it's unfair for him to retire eventually without ever playing for a team that could contend. If the Blazers agree to this trade, they'll be able to get their rebuild underway as soon as possible, because it'll see Markelle Fultz, Jalen Suggs, and Jonathan Isaac, along with a couple of firsts going to Portland. On the other hand, the Magic can get one of the greatest point guards of this generation. Pair him up with Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner, and Bol Bol, while having enough talent in their supporting cast. That's an exciting team. They've also got the 6th pick in the upcoming draft, and given their recent luck, it wouldn't surprise me if they hit a jackpot with that too, or maybe use it to land someone else to their rotation. Lillard in O-Town would cook. Just get him out of Rip City, man.
Get so much respect, especially in that Pacific Northwest.
Oh, Dame steps back, knocks down a jumper to beat the clock after the timeout.
So from Lillard joining the Magic in a blockbuster deal, to Ben Simmons reportedly being a part of the Rockets' new-look roster for the 2023-24 campaign, those were the latest NBA trade rumors.